The message came on a quiet Tuesday morning. Screens around the world lit up with strange symbols that shifted and changed until they formed words in every Earth language. Greetings from the Galactic Concord. You are not alone. For 3 days, scientists and world leaders argued about how to respond. On the 4th day, they agreed to send a simple reply. Earth welcomes the Galactic Concord. Captain Ethan Miller stood in front of the large window on the space station, looking at the stars. 6 months had passed since that first message. Now he would lead the first human delegation to meet these aliens. Captain, we've finished loading the supplies, said Olivia Carter as she walked up beside him. She was the mission's science officer, tall with short brown hair and eyes that missed nothing. Thank you, Olivia. Are you nervous? Ethan asked. Terrified and excited, she admitted with a small smile. But there's something strange about the message that's been bothering me. What's that? There's a pattern hidden in the background noise. It doesn't match the rest of the transmission. It's almost like someone added something to the message without the main senders knowing. Ethan frowned. A warning. Maybe. I need more time to study it. The Starship Horizon was Earth's newest and most advanced vessel. It wasn't built for war, but for exploration. Its walls were white and clean, and large windows showed the stars outside. The crew of 20 was the best Earth had to offer. Commander Joseph Russell, Ethan's second-in-command, waited by the ship's entrance. All crew is aboard, Captain. We're ready to launch. Thank you, Commander. Let's make history. The journey to the meeting point took 3 weeks. The Horizon traveled through a series of what the Concorde called fold points, places where space could be bent to allow faster travel. Olivia spent most of that time in her lab, working on the strange pattern in the message. 2 days before they reached the meeting point, she called Ethan to her lab. I found it, she said, eyes wide with excitement and worry. There's a message hidden inside the message. It says, beware the apex predator, death world species. What does that mean? Ethan asked. I don't know. It's not from the Concorde. Someone else put it there. The meeting point was a massive space station floating in empty space, far from any star system. It was shaped like a wheel with spokes running to a central hub. The Horizon docked at one of these spokes. As Ethan led his team through the airlock, they got their first look at aliens. There were at least 6 different species waiting for them. Some had too many limbs, others had skin that changed colors, and one group looked like walking plants. Welcome humans, said a tall, blue-skinned alien with 4 arms. I am Ambassador Krell of the Galactic Concord. We are pleased you have joined us. Ethan noticed how the aliens stood far back from them, how all the aliens seemed to keep their distance. Lieutenant Daniel Wright, the security chief, leaned close to Ethan. They're afraid of us, he whispered. Ethan looked around and saw it was true. The aliens were fascinated but scared. A group of insect-like creatures with shiny black exoskeletons washed from the side. One of them stepped forward. I am Zixta of the Ilarians. It said, voice clicking. We objected to inviting your kind. You should not be here. Ambassador Krell made a gesture that might have been embarrassment. Please forgive Zixta. The Ilarians were concerned about certain aspects of human biology. What aspects? Olivia asked. Your evolution on a high-gravity world with extreme weather and dangerous predators. Your body chemistry that can survive toxins. Your tendency to keep fighting even when injured. Krell's 4 hands moved nervously. Some call such worlds death worlds. Very few spacefaring species come from such places. Ethan noticed another group of aliens with gray skin and large eyes, watching from far away. When he looked at them, they quickly turned and left. Who are they? He asked. The Voxeri, Krell said. They are uncomfortable around new species. Commander Russell caught Ethan's eye and gave a slight nod. They both knew something wasn't right. The hidden warning, the fear, the Voxeri leaving when noticed. Their welcome wasn't the friendly meeting they had expected. It felt more like they had just walked into a trap. Olivia Carter worked through the night in the small lab the aliens had given her on the space station. The symbols of the hidden message glowed on her screen. After hours of work, she finally broke the code. "Captain, I found it," she said into her communicator. "The full message. It's from a species called the Krith." 20 minutes later, Captain Miller, Commander Russell, and Lieutenant Wright gathered in her lab. "The Krith?" Ethan asked. Ambassador Krell never mentioned them. "According to the data I found, they're believed to be extinct," Olivia said. "But they left this warning. Beware the humans. They are classified as Death Worlders. Their evolution has made them uniquely dangerous." Daniel Wright frowned. "They're afraid of us because we come from Earth. That's why they're keeping their distance." "It seems so," Olivia nodded. "Earth's gravity is stronger than most habitable planets. Our weather is more extreme. Our planet has thousands of predators and natural disasters. To them, we evolved in a nightmare world." Commander Russell crossed his arms. "So they invited us here not as equals, but to study us. Like animals in a zoo." "I think some species wanted to welcome us," Olivia said. "Others, like the Illyrians, seem to see us as a threat." "And the Voxeri?" Ethan asked. "Why are they avoiding us completely?" Before Olivia could answer, the door opened. Engineer Kelly Martinez rushed in, her face flushed with excitement and worry. "Captain, you need to see this," she said. "I was examining their technology, with permission, and I found something strange." She placed a small device on the table. "This was in our quarters. It creates a field that dampens movement and strength. They put them all around the human living areas." Daniel picked up the device. "They're not just studying us. They're containing us." Ethan's face hardened. "I think it's time for a direct conversation with the Concord Council." The council chamber was a large room with raised seats arranged in a circle. Representatives from 12 species sat looking down at the humans. Ambassador Krell stood in the center with Captain Miller. "Esteemed Council," Krell began, "Captain Miller has requested this audience to address certain concerns." Ethan stepped forward. "Thank you, Ambassador. We came here in peace and friendship, but we've discovered you're monitoring us, containing us, and treating us with fear rather than respect." Murmurs spread through the council. "We found the warning from the Krith," Ethan continued. "We know you see Earth as a death world, and us as dangerous. But you invited us here. You sought contact with us." Zixta of the Illyrians stood up, its insect body clicking with agitation. "The Krith were wise to warn about your kind. You are physically stronger than most species here. Your bones break less easily. Your skin resists damage that would kill others. You can survive in temperature ranges that would be fatal to many of us." "That doesn't make us dangerous," Ethan argued. "It just means we evolved differently." Another council member, a plant-like being, spoke up. "Humans also show alarming psychological traits. You continue fighting when injured. You chase prey to exhaustion. You deliberately seek out dangerous situations for what you call fun." Commander Russell whispered to Ethan. "They've been studying Earth's broadcasts. They've seen our sports, our movies." Ethan realized with a shock that to these aliens, human entertainment might look like evidence of a violent, reckless species. "We mean no harm," Ethan said firmly. "We came to learn and share knowledge." A shadow fell across the chamber entrance. The Voxeri had arrived. Their gray skin seemed to absorb light, and their large eyes fixed on the humans. "The humans speak truth," the tallest Voxeri said, voice soft but carrying. But so did the Krith. The council fell silent. "We have met humans before," the Voxeri continued, "many cycles ago. We know what they are capable of." The warning was correct. Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. The Voxeri stepped closer, and for the first time, he saw not fear in their eyes, but something else. Respect. The council meeting ended in chaos. The Voxeri's statement about having met humans before shocked everyone. Before Captain Miller could ask questions, alarms blared through the station. "Security breach in Section 7," announced a mechanical voice. "All representatives please return to your quarters." Commander Russell grabbed Ethan's arm. "That's near our ship." They ran toward the Horizon's docking bay, followed by Olivia, Daniel, and Kelly. When they turned the corner, they saw 5 Illyrians in dark uniforms trying to force 2 human scientists into a small shuttle. "Stop!" Ethan shouted. The Illyrians turned, their insect-like mandibles clicking rapidly. One of them raised a device that glowed blue. "This does not concern you, Captain," the Illyrian said. "These specimens are needed for safety research." "Those specimens are my people," Ethan said, stepping forward. "Release them now." The Illyrian aimed the device at Ethan. "You will stand down. This is for the good of the Concord." Lieutenant Wright moved faster than anyone expected. He grabbed the Illyrian's arm and twisted. The device fell to the floor. The other Illyrians rushed forward, but they were no match for the humans. Even with their hard exoskeletons, the Illyrians couldn't match human strength and speed. In less than a minute, all 5 aliens were on the ground, subdued by Daniel and his security team who had arrived from the Horizon. "Are you hurt?" Olivia asked the 2 scientists. "No," said one, a woman named Dr. Helen Baker. "They surprised us while we were collecting samples," said the council ordered tests on humans. Ethan looked at the fallen Illyrians. The council didn't authorize this. Zixta acted on his own. A group of Concord security officers arrived, led by Ambassador Krell. The 4-armed alien looked shocked at the scene. "What happened here?" Krell demanded. "Your Illyrian friends tried to kidnap our people," Commander Russell said. Krell's blue skin darkened. "This is unacceptable. The Illyrians will answer for this violation of Concord law." As the Concord officers took the Illyrians away, a slim figure approached from the shadows. It was one of the Voxari. "Captain Miller," the Voxari said softly. "I am Nexer. We must speak privately." Ethan nodded to his team to continue helping the scientists, then followed Nexer to a quiet corner. "You said your people met humans before," Ethan said. "When? How? We've only just developed space travel." Nexer's large eyes blinked slowly. 300 of your years ago, the human ship crossed the void between stars. We do not know how. It crashed on one of our worlds." "That's impossible," Ethan said. "We didn't have that technology." "Nevertheless, it happened," Nexer said. "There were 6 humans. 3 died in the crash. The survivors lived among us for years." "What happened to them?" "They adapted. They survived conditions that would kill Voxari. One walked through fire to save a Voxari child. Another lifted a fallen stone pillar that would have required 3 Voxari to move." Nexer paused. "They were kind, but they were terrifying in their abilities." Before Ethan could ask more questions, his communicator buzzed. "Captain," came Olivia's urgent voice. "You need to get to the command center now. Something's happening." In the command center, screens showed a fleet of ships approaching the station. Dravik war vessels. Ambassador Krell said, all 4 hands moving nervously. "They're not responding to hails." "Who are the Dravik?" Ethan asked. "A militaristic species," Krell said. "They've always been suspicious of the Concord's peaceful approach. They believe in strength above all." Commander Russell studied the ships on the screen. "They're in attack formation." A message finally came through. A reptilian face appeared on the main screen. "This is General Vorex of the Dravik Imperium," the alien said, sharp teeth gleaming. "The human threat must be neutralized. Their planet will be contained. Surrender the humans now, or we will take them by force." Ethan felt cold fear in his stomach. Not for himself, but for Earth. "What do they mean? Their planet will be contained?" he asked. Krell wouldn't meet his eyes. "They've already sent ships to your solar system." Back on Earth, Admiral Lisa Bennett stood in the control room of the Global Defense Center. Large screens showed the approaching alien ships. "How many?" she asked. "7 vessels, Admiral," replied her officer. "They're bigger than anything we've seen before." Lisa's face remained calm, but her mind raced. 6 months ago, the world had been excited about joining the Galactic Concord. Now alien ships were entering Earth's orbit without warning or permission. "Send the greeting message Captain Miller provided," she ordered, "and ready all defense platforms." On the screens, the alien ships ignored the greeting and spread out around Earth. "They're blocking our communication satellites," the officer said. "We've lost contact with the horizon and Captain Miller." Lisa nodded. "Then we assume hostile intent. Activate Operation Scattered Thunder." Across Earth, hidden launch sites opened. Small, fast ships rose into the sky. Earth had been preparing for this possibility ever since the first alien message arrived. Meanwhile, at the Concord station, Captain Miller and his crew were being held in a secure room. "This is outrageous," Commander Russell said, pacing the floor. "They can't just attack Earth without provocation." Ethan sat quietly, thinking. The Dravik seemed to have been planning this. They were just waiting for an excuse. Engineer Kelly Martinez was examining the door lock. "I think I can override this," she whispered to Ethan. "But where would we go? We're on a space station surrounded by enemy ships." "We need to warn Earth," Olivia said. "And we need allies." Ethan looked at her. "The Voxeri. They know humans better than the others. Maybe they'll help us." Kelly nodded and went back to working on the door. After 10 minutes, the lock clicked open. "Stay here," Ethan said to the others. "If I'm not back in an hour, try to reach the horizon." He slipped out into the corridor. The station was in chaos, with various alien species hurrying in all directions. No one paid attention to the human as he made his way toward the area where the Voxeri delegation was staying. He found Nexar in a dimly lit room, alone. "Captain Miller," the Voxeri said, not surprised. "You escaped." "The Dravik are attacking my planet," Ethan said. "I need your help." Nexar's large eyes blinked slowly. "Why would I help you?" "The Dravik are powerful allies." "Because you know us. Your people met humans before. Were we the monsters the Dravik say we are?" The Voxeri was silent for a long moment. "No. The humans we met were fierce but honorable. They saved Voxeri lives at risk to their own." "Then help us now," Ethan pleaded. "If the Dravik attack Earth unprovoked, humans will fight back with everything we have. There will be no peace, only war." Back at Earth, the Dravik ships fired their first shots at the orbital defense platforms. They expected easy targets. They were wrong. The platforms moved, dodging the energy beams. Earth's small ships swarmed around the Dravik vessels, too fast and too many to target easily. "What is this?" demanded General Vorex on his command ship. "Their technology should be primitive." "They're using simple rockets and projectile weapons," his officer reported. "But they're using them in ways we didn't expect." On her command center, Admiral Bennett watched as her forces executed their plan. The Earth ships didn't try to match the Dravik in power. Instead, they used speed and numbers, attacking from all directions at once. "Target their engines and weapons," she ordered. "And prepare the EMP devices." On the Concord station, Nexar led Ethan to a communication room. "You can send a message to your people from here," the Voxeri said. "But the Dravik will know." "Thank you," Ethan said. He quickly typed a message to Earth, explaining what had happened and warning about the Dravik's technology. As he pressed send, alarms blared through the station. "What's happening?" Ethan asked. Nexar's normally calm face showed concern. "The Dravik are losing the first battle. They did not expect your people to be so ready for them." Ethan couldn't help smiling. They ignored the warning about humans. Now they're beginning to regret it. Admiral Bennett watched as her fleet executed Operation Scattered Thunder perfectly. Earth's ships were smaller than the Dravik vessels, but they were faster and more agile. They darted around the alien ships like bees around bears. "Group 3, "Move in now," she ordered. On her screen, a cluster of Earth ships broke from their hiding place behind the moon. They raced toward the largest Dravik ship, the one that seemed to be giving orders to the others. "They're launching their attack pods, Admiral," her officer warned. "Good. That's what we want." The Dravik attack pods were fast, but they moved in straight lines, easy to predict. Earth pilots had trained for months using computer simulations based on the limited data they had on alien technology. The Earth ships scattered, drawing the attack pods away from each other. Then suddenly, the Earth ships cut their engines and drifted. The confused pods shot past them. "Now," ordered Admiral Bennett. The Earth ships fired special devices that released clouds of tiny metal particles. The particles stuck to the attack pods, blocking their sensors and jamming their engines. Dozens of pods went dark, floating uselessly in space. On the main Dravik ship, General Vorex slammed his scaled fist on his command chair. "How is this possible?" he roared. "These humans should be easy to defeat. Their technology is primitive." "Sir," said his second-in-command, "they're not fighting the way we expected. They're using our strength against us." "Explain." "Our ships are bigger, with more powerful weapons, but they need time to aim and fire. The humans are moving too quickly, attacking from too many directions." Vorex's yellow eyes narrowed. "Then we will change our approach. Bring all ships together. We will combine our shields and fire all weapons at once. Let's see their little ships handle that." Back on the Concorde station, Captain Miller had reunited with his crew. Nexer the Voxeri had helped them reach the horizon, but they couldn't leave yet. Concorde forces loyal to the Dravik had locked down all ships. "We need to help Earth," said Commander Russell. "But we're stuck here." Communications specialist Aaron Clark had been working quietly at a console. Now he looked up with excitement. "Captain, I think I found something. I can access the station's main broadcast system." "What good does that do us?" asked Lieutenant Wright. "I can send images from Earth to every screen on the station and to all Concorde ships," Aaron explained. "Everyone will see what's really happening." Ethan nodded. "Do it." Aaron's fingers flew over the controls. Soon, every screen on the station showed the battle at Earth. They showed the unprovoked Dravik attack. They showed Earth defending itself, not attacking first. In the Concorde Council chamber, representatives watched in shock. "The Dravik said the humans attacked them first," said one council member. "They lie to us." Ambassador Krell stood up. "We must stop this. The Dravik have violated our most basic laws." Meanwhile, Olivia had been studying information from the station's database. "Captain," she said urgently, "I found something important about the Krith warning." "What is it?" Ethan asked. The Krith weren't warning the Concorde about humans being dangerous. They were telling them where to find humans. Why would they do that? Because they knew humans would be needed. Olivia's eyes were wide. The Krith weren't afraid of humans. They respected them. On Earth, Admiral Bennett saw the Dravik ships coming together into a tight formation. "They're combining their power," she said. "All ships pull back. Execute Pattern Delta." Earth's ships retreated, giving the appearance of fear. The Dravik formation moved forward, preparing to fire all weapons at once. "Hold position," Admiral Bennett told her fleet. "Wait for my signal." The Dravik ships glowed as they charged their weapons. "Now," she ordered. All Earth ships fired at once, not at the Dravik ships, but at a point in space just in front of them. Special missiles exploded, creating a massive EMP pulse. The pulse washed over the Dravik ships, whose systems were all linked together. One by one, the Dravik ships went dark. On the Concorde station, the Council watched in amazement. "How did they do that?" one asked. Nexer, who now stood with Captain Miller, answered. "They used their enemy's strength as a weakness. That is why humans are so formidable. They think differently." Word spread quickly through the Concorde station about what happened at Earth. The Dravik fleet, once proud and feared, now drifted powerless in space. The humans had defeated them not with superior weapons, but with clever thinking. As the council argued about what to do next, a new group of aliens approached Captain Miller and his crew. They were tall and slender with pale green skin and 4 eyes that blinked in pairs. "I am Tella of the Zintheri," said their leader, bowing slightly. "We wish to speak with you, Captain Miller." Ethan looked at them carefully. The Zintheri had been quiet during all the council meetings, watching but rarely speaking. "What do you want?" Commander Russell asked, still suspicious of all aliens. "To offer an alliance," Tella said simply. "We have been studying Earth history in secret. We are impressed by what we found." "Impressed by what?" Ethan asked. "By your ability to learn from mistakes. By how quickly you adapt. Most species take thousands of years to change their ways. Humans do it in decades." While they talked, Olivia was still working to understand the Krith warning. She called Ethan over to her screen. "Look at this," she said excitedly. "I found more of the Krith message in the Concord archives. The Krith died out 3,000 years ago, but they left warnings across the galaxy." "Warnings about what?" Ethan asked. "About a disaster they saw coming. Something that would threaten all life. They called it the Great Filter, an event that most species wouldn't survive." Nexer the Voxuri joined them, listening closely. "What does this have to do with humans?" Daniel Wright asked. "The Krith identified certain qualities needed to survive this disaster," Olivia explained. "Adaptability, resourcefulness, physical endurance, mental flexibility. All traits that humans have in abundance because we evolved on Earth." Tella nodded. "This is why we want to ally with humans. The Zintheri are good at technology and science, but we struggle with change. Together, we could be stronger." Before Ethan could respond, alarms sounded through the station again. "What now?" he asked. Aaron checked his console. "It's the Ilarians. Their main ship is approaching the station with weapons charged." On the view screen, a large insect-shaped ship moved toward the station. Zixta's face appeared on the screen. "The human threat must be eliminated," he declared. "We warned the council. Now we will act." "They're preparing to fire," Aaron reported. "Some kind of biological weapon." Dr. Samantha Hughes, the delegation's xenobiologist, stepped forward. She had been quiet until now, studying alien biology in her lab. "Captain," she said, "I've been analyzing Concord physiology. The Ilarians are targeting all non-Ilarian life forms. They think they're immune to their own weapon." "Can you stop it?" Ethan asked. "No," she admitted, "but humans might have natural resistance. Our immune systems are incredibly aggressive compared to most Concord species. What would kill them might just make us sick." Tela looked alarmed. "The Zintheri are very vulnerable to biological attacks. Our immune systems are weak." Ethan made a quick decision. "Get all Zintheri and other vulnerable species to the center of the station. We'll form a barrier around them." "What do you mean?" Tela asked. "Humans will physically block the pathways. If Dr. Hughes is right, we can filter out the worst of the attack." The Ilarian ship fired a cloud of particles toward the station's air intakes. The station's defenses tried to block it, but some got through. Alarms blared as the air filtration system detected the contaminant. Inside the station, humans from the Horizon crew positioned themselves at every entrance to the central chamber where vulnerable species had gathered. They used emergency breather masks, but these weren't designed for biological attacks. As the particles spread through the station, many aliens fell ill immediately. The humans felt sick too, feverish and weak, but they remained standing. Dr. Hughes moved among the humans, checking their conditions. "It's working," she told Ethan, who stood guard despite his pale face. "Our immune systems are fighting it off. We're creating a clean zone in here." Through the glass walls, they could see Ilarians walking confidently through the corridors, expecting to find everyone dead or dying. Instead, they found humans still on their feet, protecting the other species. Zixta himself appeared, mandibles clicking in shock when he saw humans still alive. Impossible, he chittered. No species could survive that toxin. You forgot something important about Deathworlders, Ethan said, his voice hoarse but strong. We've been fighting off diseases our entire evolution. Our bodies are battlegrounds already. For the first time, fear showed in the Illyrians' compound eyes. 3 days after the Illyrian attack, the Concord Council met again. This time, Captain Miller sat among them as Earth's official representative. Next to him were Nexer of the Voxeri and Tella of the Zintheri. The 3 species had formed an alliance. The Illyrians had been placed under Concord arrest. The Dravik ships had been towed back to the station, their crews confined to quarters. The mood was somber but hopeful. We have all learned important lessons, said Ambassador Krell, standing in the center of the chamber. We feared humans because we did not understand them. We saw their strength as a threat rather than an asset. Dr. Samantha Hughes had been working nonstop with Zintheri scientists. She stood to address the council. We've fully translated the Krith warning now, she said. It wasn't a warning against humans. It was a message telling the Concord where to find us. She displayed the full message on the main screen. When the wave comes from the galactic core, only those evolved on harsh worlds will survive. Find the humans of Earth. They are Deathworlders, but they are also protectors. They will help you prepare. The council members murmured among themselves. What wave? Asked a plant-like representative. Olivia Carter stepped forward. The Krith discovered evidence of a massive radiation wave that moves through our galaxy every few million years. Their calculations showed it would reach this part of the galaxy within the next century. This radiation is fatal to most life forms, Dr. Hughes continued. But species from planets with strong magnetic fields and harsh conditions, like Earth, have evolved natural resistance. That is why the Krith wanted us to find humans, Krell said thoughtfully. Not to fear them, but to learn from them. The Concord's oldest member, a small blue alien who rarely spoke, rose slowly. The Krith were wise, he said. They saw that most Concord worlds are gentle places. Our species evolved in safety. We never developed the defenses that humans have. Ethan looked around the room. Earth is willing to share all we know about radiation protection. Our planet's magnetic field and atmosphere have shielded us for millions of years. We've also developed technology to protect our astronauts in space. And we will need more than physical protection, Tella added. We will need the human spirit of adaptation, the ability to face disaster and not give up. General Vorex of the Dravik had been permitted to attend under guard. Now he spoke, his voice less commanding than before. The humans defeated our best ships with inferior technology, he said. They survived a bioweapon that should have killed them. The warning was correct. We should have heeded it. He looked directly at Ethan. Not because you are monsters, but because you are survivors. And now, perhaps, you will help us survive too. Ethan nodded. That's what humans do. We protect our own. And now that includes all of you. Ambassador Krell raised all 4 hands for silence. The Concord formally apologizes to Earth and offers full membership with all rights and privileges. Will you accept, Captain Miller, on behalf of your world? I accept, Ethan said, on the condition that all species are treated equally, regardless of their origins. The council erupted in applause. Later, on the observation deck, Ethan stood with Olivia, Commander Russell, and Lieutenant Wright, looking out at the stars. So we went from being feared as dangerous predators to being valued as protectors, Joseph Russell said with a smile. Quite a change in 1 week. The universe is full of dangers, Olivia said. Some we can see, like the Dravik ships. Some we can't, like the radiation wave. Having evolved on a death world gave us the tools to face both. Daniel Wright looked thoughtful. Do you think the Krith really died out, or did they find their own death world to hide on? We may never know, Ethan said, but they left us a gift in their warning. As they watched, a new ship approached the station. It was from Earth, carrying diplomats and scientists ready to help prepare the Concorde for the coming challenge. "One thing is certain," Ethan said. "Humans will face whatever comes next the way we always have. Together, adapting, and never giving up." Nexer joined them silently, his large eyes reflecting the starlight. "The Concorde feared the warning about humans," the Voxuri said softly. "Now they understand it was not a warning, but a gift. Not something to fear, but something to hope for."